would say so, but I think it's like that every game. You want to come out and get off to a great start. Just come out, execute what we did in practice. Had a great 2 days of practice. Were able to put ourselves in good positions early. To an early lead. So.
Talk about the 3-point shooting. It's kind of the first game the threes were falling for you guys. Did it kind of feel like you guys were due because it seemed like it just kind of all came pouring in at once? Is that how it felt like tonight?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we know that we're a good shooting team, and so we had a couple bad games last 2 games, and so yeah, I think our work has kind of showed off this game, and I think I would say it was due, I guess.
From what I counted, 11 different Cardinal players scored tonight. I mean, you see that number, like what immediately goes through your head that guys were getting baskets.
Yeah, I think it doesn't really surprise me. I think we got a lot of guys that can score, a lot of depth on the bench, and so I hear 11 guys. It doesn't really surprise me very much.
Yeah, I think we guys coming in, even late in the second half, we were executing pretty well. We were able to get good looks for everybody top out on the roster. So you put 12 guys in score sheet, 11 guys score. It's always a good feeling.
You got off to a 19-0 lead, and we're turning them over quite a lot early on. Can you talk about the defensive effort, especially early in the game?
Yeah, I think the coaches just put us in a great position with the scout we had. Really repped a lot in practice the past 2 days. Had a great 2 days of practice and came out really prepared. Thought we knew some of the stuff that they were going to do and came out and executed pretty well. Did what we were taught and just executed, yeah.
All right, you guys got leads up to 39 points, almost a 40-point lead. How impressive do you guys feel that this game was for you guys, and how does it propel you for the rest of the season?
Yeah, I mean, especially coming off 2 losses, it's kind of good to have a get-right game like this, get everybody in the score sheet, see the ball go through the hoop. So I think this is good, something we can build on, and we'll have another couple of good tests next week.
Speaking of which, next up is undefeated Ole Miss. Any early thoughts on that matchup and heading down to SEC country?
Don't really know too much other than they're obviously a great team, talented team, talented players. Haven't really got into the numbers of the scout yet, but we'll do that in the next couple of days and be ready to go out to Orlando.
This on 19-0 start. Did you guys look up the scoreboard and like, dang, we're up 19-0? Because that's obviously not something that happens too often in basketball. Any reactions to seeing how? Were you guys? I guess I'm asking. Were you guys a little bit surprised that it was that much of a lead? It was a 19-0. It just doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, I don't know if surprise would be the right word. I think we were locked in at the beginning. I think it was something where we kind of realized that this could be the standard for us. Getting off to a start like that. The last couple games we've haven't really gotten off to some great starts, and so coming out with that edge, I think I don't know, it definitely helped us.
So it sounds like that was an emphasis coming from the coaches. That was like pop these guys in the mouth kind of thing, get them over the lead, and then roll from there.
Absolutely, yeah. I think the emphasis was just on just play as hard as you can, win by as many points as you possibly can. I know that that's for every game, but like coming off 2 losses, just an emphasis of playing with an edge, playing pissed off, and just beating them as much as you can.
Yeah, I think especially coming out of the game, obviously we're looking at the scoreboard, being high IQ basketball players, keeping up with the score in time, but. So yeah, I mean we see it, but I think we did a great job of playing in the moment, taking it one play at a time, executing, what was in front of us at the time, and then you keep doing that over and over again, and then that's how you get a 19-point lead to start the game. So it's not no 19-point plays; it's a bunch of small plays that lead up to it.
All right, Michael, I asked the coach last game, was there any situation with your confidence when you had 31 the first game and then 9 and then 0? So was there frustration with you, or just one of those games?
I mean, definitely. I think frustrated with how I played. I didn't shoot as well as I would have liked to. But it's just I think really important to stick to the process. Trust you. When you get in a game, high pressure game, you fall back on your highest level of training. So just trust myself, keep my confidence up, and keep moving forward.
A lot of times when teams have big leads at halftime, they kind of stagnate in the second half. You guys actually grew the lead. What was the message at halftime to
I think Coach talked about it at halftime. In any game, even if you're up 20, 30 points at half, there's always things you can improve on, things you can shore up at the half. So we made some good adjustments, and they did as well. And so I think we were able to grow the lead from that. We tried to have the same mentality coming out to start the game. We want to come out, punch them in the mouth, and metaphorically, and just play well, execute, and I think we did that to start the second half.
Cal Stanford, big game tomorrow for football. Sometimes you guys have been playing the game the same day and you guys haven't been able to see it. I'm guessing you guys are, since there's no game tomorrow, you guys are planning on weaving some time to watch that?
Oh, yeah, we'll be there.
Yep.
Beat Cal.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Leave it there.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
No. All right, head coach Jerod Haase. Coach, if you look on the statement.
Absolutely, it'll feels good to play in a lot of ways a clean game. A lot of positives to build off of. I thought we played hard, and even when we had a lead, I thought really for the most part we played very selfless basketball, trying to take care of each other. It'll be nice to break down the tape, watch the tape, grade it, and then cheer on the Stanford football team tomorrow in the big game. So I'm excited about that. So a lot of good feelings going into that, but making shots makes everything look better. 10 threes in the first half and 14 overall. It cures a lot of mistakes. There could be some bobbled passes or this or that or the other thing, but when the ball goes in, everything looks a lot better. After the last couple games I've talked about, I do believe we're a better shooting team than we've shown, and tonight we saw that. I don't know that we're going to make 14 threes a game, but I do think you saw a team that's very capable of shooting, very confident, and that made a big difference in the game.
All right, Coach. So last game, of course, I talked about Michael Jones not getting any points, and came out today on fire, 11 points in the first half. So what did you see in him pregame, and then how did you like the way he came out?
Well, practice has been consistent and good. There's no concern on my part in terms of the last couple games or anything like that. Loved his attitude on the bench at the start of the game, just coaching the young guys, talking to them, being a leader on the team. And then when he got on the floor, came out with a lot of confidence and played aggressively and had a lot of success.
Can you talk about the defensive effort early on, especially how much you were able to turn them over and force them into tough shots?
Yeah, I thought we competed early. Honestly, I think the guys were excited to play. After the last couple games, we wanted to get back on the winning side of things, and I think the defense early on was important. I don't think we've been a great starting team necessarily the first three games, and I think we talked about the idea of starting strong, really on the defensive end especially, to be able to make sure we impose our will a little bit, and I thought we did that in a variety of different ways. A few changes or a few wrinkles to our defense. I think scouting was really good, and we were able to capitalize on those.
To piggyback off of that, at one point you guys led 19-0, and I believe it was like around the 12:52 mark when Cal Poly finally scored. Did you guys kind of see like this was a turnover-prone team like heading into this game, and that was able to build the lead off of the that was how you guys were able to build that lead right away?
Yeah, I don't think our focus was thinking that they were a turnover-prone team, but I think our focus was that if we execute our principles and then execute a couple of again, I'm calling them wrinkles to the game plan, it could put us in advantageous situations. Activity is something we're always talking about, and our length is something we always try and emphasize in practice, and the activity and length, I think, created some of those deflections and created some of those steals tonight.
How much do you like seeing this stat, 11 different players scoring on this night? As a head coach, how much do you like that?
Oh, I love it. It's I think this team is built on the idea that it's a collective group of guys, and I think not only seeing 11 guys score, but the excitement of the guys on the bench when guys are scoring and really invest in each other and excited for each other. That's the part I really love.
Talk about the little more on three-point shooting. Did you feel like, as a guy's question, but it seems like sometimes you have a couple off nights shooting that the next night you're kind of due. Sometimes do you feel like there was any element of that where it was just a matter of shot spot and wants to do kind of rains it pours kind of effect here a little bit?
Yeah, I don't necessarily agree with it in the short term, game to game, but I think over an entire season, the ebbs and flows you're gonna be who you are. You know, if Spencer Jones, in my mind, is a 40 to 42% three-point shooter. Michael Jones, a 40 to 42, which is really good. And I think at the end of the year, that's where they'll be. And they're going to have some games where they're 4 from 4, and probably some games where they're 0 4. But I think at the end of the day, when it's a longer-term proposition, I do think things tend to balance out. So with a couple of bad shooting games, there wasn't a concern from my part of, oh my gosh, are we maybe not what I think we are.
All right, Coach. Huge weekend here on the campus. Well, also across the bay. But Stanford, Cal football, and then of course, number 1 South Carolina comes in here to play Stanford women. So, will you be observing either of those 2 games or both?
Yeah, of course. I think the entire athletic department, there's a lot of camaraderie. Everybody, there's a meeting on Wednesday, and there were about 30 coaches just talking shop, talking about how they work with their teams and the philosophies and training strategies. And so the camaraderie within the department is really high. And so there's certainly a feel for watching other teams, seeing how they're doing, and cheering for the other teams as well. And my community, I have a lot of the coaches that work here, and there really is a sense of community that we take a lot of pride in. So I'll certainly be watching all those games and everybody that competes here.
Coach, what does it mean you took the 100th win, I believe, tonight, right?
I just learned that was a possibility today, and the guys decided to throw cold water on me, so I'm freezing right now. But and I changed my shirt, but it is, and so I'm very grateful for the players and the coaches that have helped get to that.
Issa Silva's hard lap tonight. Just rolling into that, and do you expect to see maybe him get more minutes at point guard, or do you expect him to kind of utilize him and MLC pretty equally at that position? I'm just talking about that decision.
Yeah, Issa and Michael O'Connell, they're both going to, I think, at least in the short term, play a lot of minutes, both of them. I've emphasized, and I believe it, that we're not going to get too caught up in who's starting with any of the positions. I think you'll probably see some ebb and flow throughout the entire season. I think it was good for Issa. The bottom line is the point guard position needs to be a net positive for us, and I think it really can be. And we need both of them, in my mind, playing a little bit better. And I think both of them did some really nice things today. So it wasn't necessarily something that it's a permanent change. It's not something that's really a big deal. It was just a change in the lineup, and I thought both of the guys handled it well.
All right, Coach, you guys have this holiday tournament coming up, but a conference game coming up really quick, December 1st, UCLA. So do you think the guys are ready for a conference play to get started yet, or will this tournament kind of help you get along the way?
Yeah, I think the guys are excited and ready. I think the last couple games in particular, playing at Wisconsin, I mean, that was a big time environment. The feel of the game was electric, and it had a feel of a big time game. Obviously with San Diego State here, it's a top 20 team and an excellent basketball team, and that had a feel of a conference type game. And then when you're playing in the Thanksgiving tournaments, those are really fun environments as well. So, we're going to have a variety of games that have prepared us for that. But I think the guys are ready and excited when that game comes. But also with an understanding it's the next step in the journey. But I think there's excitement. The schedule we put together is a very challenging schedule. It's a lot of really good teams, and the guys understand that we need to make sure we're getting up for every game, excited about every game, but also an understanding that the one after that one's another big game, and that's the way we've set up the schedule.
Is it kind of a dream schedule? Because I mean, there's also Loyola of Chicago, who's traditional tournament qualifier, and then Ole Miss coming up next Thursday as well. Is it kind of a dream schedule on your end?
I don't know how you define dream, but I think you can throw Texas in there as well, and we played them in Dallas, and last time I checked, they're doing okay. So it's a schedule that's there was purpose to the schedule. We wanted to challenge ourselves, and we want to put our best best foot forward and have a lot of big games. And we told our team and as a staff it was very intentional what we did. And we understand there's a lot of challenging games, but we think we have a team that can compete with some of these teams, knowing that we still have I think our best basketball is ahead of us. But we're going to find out because some of these teams we're playing are really elite basketball teams.
Just on Jalen Thompson, noticed he didn't get in tonight. Is he injured at all, or any reason why he wasn't not in yet? What's the deal with that?
Yeah, just a coach's decision right now. But he's doing absolutely fantastic. But right now, a coach's decision.
All right, Coach, last question. So speaking of UCLA and the LA school, it's going to be a shift in this conference. So how do you feel about how the conference is going to look different in a couple of years?
I mean, I'm worried about grading this film tonight, and and I think there's a lot of twists and turns before that time comes. But it'll certainly be a different look, and there's so many natural rivalries that'll be different, and travel schedules. But I think that'll be a question for a couple of years from now. But I think it is top of mind because I think it shows just the dynamics of college athletics, the changes that have happened and potentially may continue to change. There's just so many big topics right now, and it's a little bit unsettling, but it's also exciting knowing that there's so many great things that are going to happen.